Hey friends, welcome to episode 5 of Activist Collective. And I want to give a quick plug to a friend of mine. Her name is Robin, and on TikTok you'll find her as Robin Sparkly Pond. That's one of her usernames. She helped me out with a lot of this equipment, so I want to plug her website, which is riseunitedva.com. riseunitedva.com. That is where you can sign up for self-defense classes. It's women training women. Their goal is to help you to walk differently in this world with confidence and feeling safe in your abilities. And Robin is newly minted by Gloria Marcotte. And let me just pause and give you that information for her. Okay, so the website, if you're not in Virginia, to find something near you is soulpunch.info. And you will find Gloria Marcotte is the owner of this, and she's training women to become self-defense coaches. She wants to train 1 million women who will train 1 million women, and so on, so that it is a movement across the nation. Gloria Marcotte also has an amazing story where she was abducted as a child. And her background in law enforcement is stellar. So please go check out my friend Robin Sparkly Pond on TikTok. Her website is riseunitedva.com. And that is she is trained through soulpunch.info. So you can go to her page if you're in Virginia, check her out anyway, she's amazing, or soulpunch.info to get yourself trained up or find a trainer or become a trainer. Now on to the bullshit. So I was going to show the clip. Real time here, friends. Look at, I'm not going to edit that out. I was going to show the clip, but there are so many people who begged me not to show his face. And they're like, I can watch you, but I can't watch him. And I'm just going to tell you what he said. He said that they are going to eradicate anti-Christian bias, immediately halt any anti-Christian hate that's been going on in the federal government. And he says the DOJ, the IRS, the FBI, and he says that they're going to prosecute. They're going to prosecute anti-Christian violence. And then he says, you've never heard of that one before. And then there's a room full of applause. You want to know why we've never heard of that before, you fucking dumbass? Because we already have that. You cannot commit a crime in this country against any religion, including Christians. There's already a law for that. This man is a fucking moron. And it is because we already have this law. I am concerned, friends. We already have this law. What does he need this for? What is he going to do with this? It's like, this is just him spitballing and saying, this is what we're going to do. I'm creating a task force. These are your tax dollars being wasted because we literally already have a law for this. He is trying to pander to his Christian base of fools who just keep shelling out the money to him. The minute he got elected, he became a multi-billionaire. And that is why he wanted this president, he wanted this so bad, because he knew that he was going to become a multi-billionaire. I want to talk about this thing called a Gish Gallop or whatever it is. This is a term that we've been discussing for probably about a year now. And it's making its way around in the circles again. And basically what it is just flooding the system, overworking the system. It is to overwhelm you, make your head spin, make you feel like you are powerless, to make you feel overwhelmed and emotionally drained. And it works. It works. And they know it works. A lot of the things that he is doing, a lot of his executive orders can be chalked up to performance, okay? But some of them are frightening. Donald Trump cannot legally ban transgender people from the United States without a congressional approval. Donald Trump cannot freeze funds that Congress has already spent. Donald Trump cannot create new laws to protect Christians more than anyone else at the stroke of a pen. These are things that he is doing to overwhelm you, to make the idiots in his voting base think that what he's doing is, working. Okay? So please understand that a lot of this is to make your head spin. And it does work, but we've got to take a step back and try to see if our democratic process is going to be able to save us. And if it can't, well then we hit the streets, friends. I can say that here. We organize, we mobilize, and we protest. And we protest day in and day out. And I feel like it's hard to say do that when we know that even if he's removed, J.D. Vance is going to come in. But I will say what I said in a video a couple of days ago. If we can get Republican senators and congressmen to see the light by telling them, here's the thing, friends. So let me take a step back. If you consistently call your senators and you tell them, or your congresspeople, and you tell them, look, MAGA morons, you are literally fighting to eradicate your own jobs. You are fighting to make your job non-existent. So why are you fighting so hard? Do they think that Donald Trump, after all is said and done, if the Congress is eradicated, that Donald Trump's going to point at them and go, I want all 250 or whatever of you to come with me, and I'm going to make sure you're paid for the rest of your life. That's never going to happen. Look what he did to Rudy Giuliani. That man was hung up to dry, put away wet, by Donald Trump. And he literally ruined his life for that man. Rudy Giuliani gave up his entire life for that man. So it will be on us to make sure that the Republican congressmen know that they're fighting to end their own jobs if they keep this up. So it would be in their best interest to fight for democracy instead of fascism and plutocracy. So back to my original thought. If we can get enough Congress people on board with this impeachment to change laws, to secure things, then once Donald Trump is out, I would think that J.D. Vance would see that we aren't fucking around, and we are going to remove you too if you try to usurp the law and eradicate the middle class and all of the above, friends. We have to stay on top of our senators, and it's important that we stay on top of Republican senators too. I know it feels like I don't want to fucking call Marsha Blackburn's office. Like, fuck that bitch. I don't want to call and talk to Kennedy. I don't want to call and talk to Tom Cotton. But you gotta. And you gotta make sure you tell him, you, sir or madam, better see the error of your ways very soon, or you will not have a job. Your reason for coming to work every day will be gone. So, let's gather together. Let's make sure that we're doing what we are capable of doing on our own, in our own homes, at our own time, and do what we can. Pause. The next thing I would like to discuss is Donald Trump's blatant assault on the media. He said he would do it, and he's doing it. It even started before he was inaugurated. When Kamala Harris was on 60 Minutes, she also was on Face the Nation, right? But at some point, Donald Trump and his cronies claimed that her 60 Minutes interview and her answer about Israel was doctored. And because of this, Donald Trump claimed that's the reason he wouldn't go on 60 Minutes. And so he pulled out of the 60 Minutes interview and tried pressuring CBS to release the raw footage and transcripts. And CBS rightfully said, that's an assault on our First Amendment rights. We don't have to hand you anything. And then Brendan Carr was made to be the chairman of the FCC. Once Donald Trump was inaugurated, Brendan Carr pressured CBS yet again to release those transcripts and the raw footage. And CBS bent the knee. They were like, okay, fine. Here you go. And they released the raw footage on Monday and the transcripts to the FCC. Brendan Carr tweeted out, there'd be a full investigation. The world will know, blah, blah, blah. And CBS replied by publishing that raw footage and transcripts for everyone to see. I believe if you go to their page, it's somewhere on there, but it's unremarkable. Nothing happened. Just as CBS says, we often edit videos for time, for clarity, to cut out stuff that's not important. And if anything, that's all that they did. And they are not guilty of doing anything wrong. And I stand by them. And I don't like them. I don't like CBS. I don't like any legacy media outlet, but I stand by them on this. This is just a representation of what will be going on as he moves through his presidency. He's going to go after everybody who said anything bad about him. He's already going after PBS and NPR. PBS and NPR are funded by the viewers. They get this much money from the federal government, but because they get any money from the federal government at all, Donald Trump feels he has the right to verbally assault these media outlets. And so there's a full investigation into NPR and PBS now. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, hold, please. Okay, this is just breaking. A letter from the Pentagon was sent to all of the military branches, every single person in charge. These are their new marching orders as it relates to transgender people. In compliance with references A and B and subsequent to the 27 January 2025 action replacing current DAF, blah, blah, blah. Here are the following. They are to execute the following actions immediately. Cease the use of preferred pronouns, he, him, she, her, they, them, to identify one's gender identity in professional communications, email, signature blocks, memorandum, letters, papers, social media, official websites, any DAF official correspondence. B, review all agency programs, contracts, and grants, and terminate any that promote or include gender ideology. Let me repeat that. Review all agency programs, contracts, and grants, and terminate any that promote or include gender ideology. C, DAF executed a centralized review of gender ideology positions, resulting in 0 personnel identified. In order to validate compliance, conduct a review to ensure any gender ideology personnel are identified and placed on paid administrative leave. They have to go through their entire ranks, find anybody who identifies differently or is transgender, and put them immediately on paid administrative leave. D, take down all outward-facing media, websites, social media that include or promote gender ideology. Withdraw any final or pending documents, directives, orders, regulations, materials, forms, communication statements, and plans that inculcate or promote gender ideology. F, cancel any training that inculcate. Inculcate? Am I saying that wrong? INCULCATE. Inculcate or promote gender ideology or have done so in the past. G, disband or cancel any employee resource groups, e.g. Athena programs or special emphasis programs that utilize duty time or DAF resources that inculcate or promote gender ideology or have done so in the past. H, review all forms that require entry of an individual's sex and ensure that all list male or female only. Remove requests for gender and substitute requests for sex. Ensure that all policies and documents, including forms, use the term sex and not gender. Ensure that intimate spaces designed for women, girls, or females are designated by biological sex and not gender identity. You pussy ass bitches. I mean, holy shit. I mean, the red hat cult members are applauding today for this. Trans people scare the fuck out of them. They don't get it. They don't understand it. They can't wrap their head around it. Therefore, it's bad. And I'm going to go off on a tangent here, and I want you to remember this, okay? After the October attacks on Israel, I knew right then that we were going to have an issue because it appeared to me the timing of this attack was political. It was political because the United States, it's got its dick in a lot of deserts. It's got its hands in pockets, and other countries got their money in our pockets, and we have a lot of stake in every game. And I knew that that was going to be something that would drive young voters away from the polls when they found out how much the United States had been, how the connection with Israel, because most people don't know. Most people didn't know that Israel is kind of like a mini little United States in terms of democracy and the way they run things. And that's just the way it's always been. We've sent them $3 billion a year for I don't know, decades and decades and decades. We have agreements with them that we would help them in any wars and protect them. And these agreements have been long lasting. We've had them for like five, I don't know. I want to say at least 50 years. I could be wrong on that, but I know it's been a long time. And because people don't know this, when they find out, it becomes brand new. It becomes brand new and they become shocked. Most of these kids didn't even know what Zionism was. And then it became every other word out of their mouth was Zionist, Zionism, Zionist. And I knew that it was going to be a problem. And from that point forward, we tried with kid gloves to talk them through this, to say, don't fall. There's going to be propaganda. Don't fall for the propaganda. And then when the propaganda started flowing in and you started seeing it being repeated by these groups, I knew that we had lost the battle. But for those who voted third party, hear me now. Do you hear me? Am I close enough to my microphone? For those who voted third party, didn't vote at all, or voted for Donald Trump out of spite, everything that happens in this country is in large part your fault. Everything that happens to Palestine is in large part your fault. You fell for it. You fell for the propaganda. You fell for the bullshit. You fell for the lies. And it's your fault. And Palestine should know this, that we told them what they were doing was going to harm Palestine, that the man they were trying to get elected or to say wasn't the issue, we kept telling them he was going to decimate Gaza. And they ignored us because the propaganda was too much. The movement was too strong. And then when they set up their school, tent cities or whatever it was, and they occupied their schools, I knew right then and there that we had lost them. I knew it. And from this point forward, if you want to make it up to the United States, if you want to make it up to the people that you fucked over, you make sure you get to the polls and you listen to people who have more experience in this than you. And you check your ego at the fucking door. And you listen to people who have been around for a while, who have been involved in activism, not because they love activism, but because they don't have a fucking choice, bitch. Because their entire life, livelihood, freedom, safety, security, family life, job life, everything hinges on activism. So, for all of those who are sitting at home feeling sorry for yourselves for what you have done, knock the fucking ego off your shoulder, put your boots on, lace up your fucking boots, and get fighting with us. Because don't come to us asking to make friends or anything, because we don't want to be your friend. We need you to fight. We need you to help save democracy. But when it's all said and done, I'm not going to go have a fucking drink with you or something. I'm not going to go and make friends with you because you people have decimated our Constitution, our freedom, our livelihood, our way of life, all because you think that because other countries are suffering, we should too. Because your government decides to do the unthinkable, you think the people who don't want that should also suffer. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up thinking. Your children, your children's children will feel the pain of what you have done for years to come. And I'll leave it at that. Pause, please. Here are the things you can do. Keep calling your senators. If it's a Republican senator, you want to keep reminding them that if they continue down this path, they are going to quite literally be fighting to eliminate their own jobs. It makes no sense to pledge allegiance to a fascist dictator when you swore an oath to uphold and defend a constitution, democracy, and freedom. Keep reminding them of that. Get a letter writing campaign going. Dump 100,000 letters on his desk on a Monday morning. You guys can call your Democratic senators, urge them to continue following the Democratic plan, which is to vote no on every single thing that they do. Hold up the process, slow down the process, urge your friends to become activists alongside you. And remember, if you go to protests, watch out for the agitators. Matt Maddox showed up at the one in Lansing trying to get people to get pissed off at him. And that's what he and his wife, Michonne, do. They see liberals and they want to, they lose their minds. They're untouchable. These people have done so much criminal shit. So don't let these agitators get your ass tossed in jail. They're not worth it. You would be doing them a favor. So be careful. Make sure you're calling the Democratic National Committee. You want to speak to the chair and the vice chair, and you want to tell them both. Make sure that your Democrats are staying in line. I want to know what you're doing. Make sure that you're talking to the public. Tell them to talk to the public. Quit keeping everybody in the dark. They have the opportunity to go live every day and have every media outlet there listening. Tell them and urge them to do that. The more people are informed, the better. Make sure that they are including social media people, because if the media won't put it out, we'll put it out the right way. So urge them to include social media people. And that's all I really have for you guys. And I want to wish you guys the best weekend. Do everything you can to enjoy your family. We don't have grass right now, or I'd go and fucking touch some right now because I need it desperately. I'm feeling the weight. I'm feeling the weight of all of this, but I'm trying not to let it get me down. We got a lot of work to do ahead of us, and I need for everybody to be taking care of their mental health, me included. But as always, know that I love you. And remember, if you would like to donate to my Venmo name is, sorry, I know that this is super not very professional, but I'm working on learning on how to edit all this stuff. So it's Mama Dad Jeans 5. Mama Dad Jeans 5. I don't know if you'll get that, but that's it. Mama Dad Jeans 5 for my Venmo. And if you wanted my Cash App is Mama Dad Jeans without the 5. Mama Dad Jeans without the 5. I don't know. There we go. If that helps you out at all. So if you wanted to donate, those are the two that I have right now. Any amount that you donate obviously goes right back to the family bills and the groceries. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate you listening. Remember, there's a Discord. Go to my TikTok, go to my Blue Sky. There's a link tree. I made a channel for all 50 states, friends. So find your community, organize from there. You can do this. We can do this. It's not illegal to protest. It's not illegal to organize. It's not illegal to speak out. It's not illegal to fight back against fascism and illegality in our government. So do that. Do that often. Stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. Big fist bump. I love you guys very much, and we'll talk soon.